It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I would do, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way, from where we began.
You know we started.
Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
Let me tell you.
When I see you again.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling strong. And what's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken. The love will never get lost.
Coming together like this is just very sad for the reason behind of it. Well, I know Roger wouldn't want us to be here mournful, so let us celebrate, appreciate, and remember. We'll start off tonight's proceedings with the opening remarks by Melvin.
Good night. Good night once again to everybody. As we all know, the reason why we are gathered here tonight, to celebrate the life of a man who has touched so many of us in many different ways. We're talking about Roger Gumbs. And everyone here tonight must have known Roger Gumbs in some way or the other. And everyone here tonight must have been touched by Roger in some meaningful way. From the Exodus basketball team, I first have to say sincere condolences to his wife, his kids, his family, and close friends. Roger definitely was someone who supported the Exodus basketball team. Roger believed in Exodus even when the team and players didn't believe in ourselves. As far as I know, Roger supported two basketball teams, the Exodus basketball team and the Boston Celtics. He believed in green, and according to my good friend Kino, if Exodus was playing the Boston Celtics, he was supporting Exodus first. And if for some reason, the Boston Celtics defeated us, he would say, well, at least Boston win. Roger would give to us in any way he can. He gave of his time, he gave of his emotion. He often gave of his finances. Many a times, the team was in some tight financial situations, and Roger was one of those persons who helped to pull us out of those financial constraints. Many a times, when we looked out and decided, okay, we're gonna do our guy, Roger still believed in us, and he still came through, often paying some of our fees on his own. And for that, we are extremely, extremely grateful. Roger was also a member of the Scaba Basketball Association. He was the treasurer, and Roger tried his best to be there every night once a game was playing. There were often times I said to Roger, you know, Roger, as the treasurer, it doesn't mean that you have to be there every night collecting the money, you know. It just means that you are the one responsible to account for it. And he would often say, man, Melly, I good, man, I good. I gonna go and collect the money. Some of his colleagues from the treasury are here this evening. And from the remarks that we heard a few evenings ago, Roger was that man in the treasury. Everybody looked up to him. Everybody went to him for some sort of advice. I would even attest that before I joined the civil service, I reached out to Roger for advice in payroll matters. So even before I was one of his colleagues, I was taking advantage of his knowledge and his experience and his expertise. They talked about all the very good times they had in the treasury and all the things that they were going to miss about Roger. Roger was proud of his job, very proud. He was one of those people who said, I hit 30 years in government. And he was proud, he was happy. I think I'm just over 3 years in the government. And when I say, hit 3 years, it's not with the same excitement that Roger would emulate when he spoke about his time at the Treasury. He was proud. He was a proud civil servant. He was a proud Kittian. He was a proud citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis. So tonight, I don't want us to hold back. I want us to give everything and say everything about Roger, what Roger meant to us. And during these times, the last thing I could ask is that we continue to remember his family and to support them in any way that we can. Pray for them. They need our prayers. Thank you.
Okay, now we'll have a word by the President of SCABA, Mr. Glenn Jeffers.
Good night, all. First, express condolences to Roger's family, his wife, and his kids. But as the previous speaker said, we will come to cherish the life of Roger, our good friend Roger, and fellow executive member of SCANABA. It's kind of weird that, that the last competition Roger organized, was is down here. I think it was the competition around in September with the Independence Basketball, the Challengers Independence Basketball League. So you can see that he really spent a lot of time with basketball and, of course, with his beloved team, Exodus. Roger really plays a pivotal role in SCABA. As a previous speaker mentioned, he was our treasurer, but he was more than just a treasurer. He did everything. He ran the bar, he was the gate, he helped even the officiating, making sure the score was everybody get in place. That was Roger. A little gentle giant. In my day, we used to call him Rogbo, or we call him Kubia Khan, all kinds of nicknames. But that's how we know growing up in Bastille. I didn't just know Roger would be in basketball. I know Roger as Roger because we all grew up in the College Street here in Pickapee Alley area. That's where we go. So we play around that. So I knew him and I felt comfortable being around him. So when I heard of his son pass, it really hurt me because I know his sisters and I know his late mom, etc. And my mother knows them well. Up to this day, my mother lived close to his sister Tyra. So that's how close we are. But I really care about him in terms of his passion, he's quiet, and he's always willing to serve. I don't understand where he get this from, boy, but he always finds time to help, even when he's extremely busy with SCABA. He gone to work, he pick up his stuff in the Jeep, gone to buy drinks, just to make sure we have drinks in the bar. That is Roger. And being at the Candlelight Vigil night there with his workplace, you hear about the many things that Roger would have got himself involved. Because that's the kind of guy he is. He's just a caring and loving person. So we all really miss him. I know they're going to be a void, but the basketball fraternity really going to be, should I say, a little hit back. because I came back in basketball because James only pulled a number of us together, and he pulled Roger with me. And now I don't have my friend here close with me. We really want to start back this Scabba League. He keep asking when we're going to get the league start back up. I say when the permission is granted. But I want to keep the guys doing something and organize something for the fellas. I say, you sure? Yeah, man, because I want to be in the Premier League and challengers need to be in the Premier League. So if anything you guys do, please bring Roger wish, make it come true. He said he wants challengers to be in the Premier League, at the Scarborough Premier League. Okay, so whenever the league kick back up, guys, do your part. Don't let him down, because he really put a lot out there. He keep talking about you guys. So once again, my deepest sympathies to Colleen and family, and to the Exodus who lost a real organizer, a manager, a real coach, and everything. Okay, so Scabba, of course, send his condolences, and me personally send my condolences. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Jeffers. And now we'll have a word from Miss Annelie Cotton on behalf of the Challengers Mutual Improvement Society.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Son, good night to everyone. When I heard of Roger's death, and then I heard that I have to say something, I started thinking, and nothing would come to me. I'm trying to figure out, when did I meet Roger? And I can't remember exactly when I met him, but I knew that many years ago, while I worked at government quarters, our window was toward the gut. So I always saw Roger, his mom, his sister, his two sisters. I don't remember if his grandmother lived there, but I knew Roger since he was going to school, but he never knew me then. Somehow, it happens that Roger is married to a relative of mine, Dilly, and I did not know that all the time either. One day we went to Nevis for a funeral, and then another cousin said to me, "This is Bernard's daughter." Now Bernard is our cousin, so I know if it's Bernard's daughter, automatically she's our cousin. So in effect, Roger was married to a cousin of ours. I remember that we started the Challengers Mutual Improvement Society club here. And it was at the time when the basketball exodus, they were in their element. Everything you hear on the radio, everywhere was exodus, exodus, exodus. And the people of Challengers started gelling together. And it was a good time for all of us, for the team, for those who didn't even care about basketball, but it was a good time for Challengers. And then CMIS came on the scene. And so we said, you know what? It's a good thing to join the Challengers Mutual Improvement Society with the Exodus team, get members from the team to support us in our effort. And our effort was to bridge the gap, because you know when they have function, it's either all young people or all old people. So we had this Challengers Mutual Improvement Society, and our duty was to try and bring everybody together. The young ones, we can learn from them, and the young ones can learn from us. And so that was the role of the Challengers Mutual Improvement Society. So we invited Exodus, and guess what? Roger, who is a Challengerian by adoption, was the one who jumped on the bandwagon. And when we started that first year, we had a week of activities, and Roger was our gopher. Roger go to Chinese and get some ice. Roger go to here and get that. Roger, whatever, he never said no. He was always there. Even if he can't come, he said, I can't come now, I'll come later. And he always wanted to know for myself and Loverstein, who was my partner, not in crime, but my strong supporter. And he wanted to know, what can I do to help? And so when we had our week of activities, it was Roger and Tighty doing nearly all the errands, going. And he never said no. I remember one time we had a function and it was clashing with something that he had already planned with his family. And you could see it on his face that he wanted to be there. But you know how it is, family comes first. So he had to go with his family to the event and miss the one that we were having. And so Roger, as I know him, he was always smiling, he was always helpful. I hear people talking, especially pensioners, talking about Roger when they heard that he died. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. I don't think anybody will be able to fill his shoe. But I am hoping that we would be able to look at his life and see if we can be that kind of helpful person that when we pass on, whether young or old, people can have good things to say of us, not make-up things, but real factual things to say that we were helpful. And so on behalf of CMIS, I want to thank Roger for all, well, he can't hear me, but I want to just express our appreciation for all that he has done and helped to do to make our club the success it was. Our club is dormant now, but it's not dead. And so I'm throwing out a challenge to the Exodus team that they can come on board, rally around the CMIS, and we can start afresh and we can bring honor to Roger's name. And, you know, that would be a good thing. His legacy would live on. And so, may his soul rest in peace.
Mommy, wait. Come here, please. We had a lot of stuff planned for tonight, but due to, well, you know how life is. Unforeseen circumstances, some things didn't take place, but I know I have my mother here, and she has a lovely singing voice, and so I would love if my mother would help us sing This Little Light of Mine, and I want for everyone to join in and sing. Please set the pitch.
1, 2, 3. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine, let it shine, let it shine all the time. Hide it under the bushel, no, I'm going to let it shine. Hide it under the bushel, no, I'm going to let it shine. Hide it under the bushel, no, I'm going to let it shine, let it shine, let it shine all the time. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine, let it shine, let it shine all the time.
Thank you so much, Mommy. Give yourselves a round of applause. Okay. At this point in time, I'd like for all of us to stand. Those of you who are a little further back, come forward, and we'll observe 1 minute of silence for Roger. Thank you. At this point in time, I guess it's my turn to speak on Roger. Roger was the conscience of the Challengers basketball team. We have a lot of different energies, a lot of different vibes between the team because, you know, no two persons are the same. But if it's one thing ring true throughout the whole club, we don't take nonsense. So when we tail up on our back and we say, well, the last the last thing that's happening is we left the Scarborough grounds, and so we done the teaching us off. Well, the one voice between, man, you all come and finish the game. Don't walk out and file after. Finish the game. That was the voice of Roger. The fact that he walk out with us, but the voice of reason, you know, he was just that kind of person. The thing that I heard most about Roger at the Candlelight service in town, organized by the Treasury, is how he was so helpful and how he never said no, how he would stay back and help at different functions, all these things. And that just goes to show the kind of man that we were dealing with. It's only when you look at things, when you take a step back and really look at things, you see. Because if we had a choice to say, yo, go to the other side, see how heaven is, and let us know how we go, nobody would have volunteered to go. That's why the choice wasn't given to us. It was made for us, and Roger was the first to go. So now it's just for us to go and meet him on the other side. Live your life in a way that persons can say, this person did good. Be remembered for the good that you do in life. Roger sure was. One of my best memories of Roger was that one time we had a hike organized by the Challengers Basketball Club. And we're going up to the mountain, and it has several challenges, or we could call them hurdles. You know, you pass the bat cave, you got a ladder, then comes the rope. And the time when we chose to go, the weather wasn't the best, it was slippery and all of that. And so Roger looked at the mountain, he looked at the rock, he looked at the rope, and he said, but I can turn back, you know. Everyone said, no. Everybody going up, nobody going to turn back. And I could remember vividly, I could see it. Skin fit, watch Roger, and he said, Roger, put your foot here. And I up to the top and I'm watching Skin fit, like, he crazy? Hey, see Roger? He said, Roger, put your foot here. And Roger put his foot on Skin fit arm. And Skin fit lift up Roger. Boom, up over everything. Roger made it to the hike, albeit he came in last, but you know, he finished, and it just goes to the character of the man that we're dealing with. He always finish. It's only earlier this week, I heard that it wasn't just the fact that we were encouraging Roger to go. It was because, and Colleen, I ain't no fridge, so I ain't still nothing for you. Roger said, well, if Nicky could go, I could go. And that's how Roger get up the mountain. So, let's just try to remember the positive, the good, everything about the man that Roger is. Let Roger put his foot here. And let us be the ones to carry Roger in our heart and in our minds. Okay? At this point in time, we'd like to open the mic to anyone that may have a treasured memory, song, poem, whatever it may be, to offer in remembrance of our dear brother Roger.
Good night to everyone. On behalf of the KFC Trinity Challengers Football Club, I want to extend deepest condolence to his wife and family of Roger. And on behalf of my family and myself, I want to extend those condolences. When I first met Roger was 21 years ago when I started in the civil service. Having stepped into the Treasury building where planning was upstairs, I met him and I introduced myself because back then, yes, I was playing for Exodus. Many of you may not know that I would have done so. So yes, I am a part of the Exodus family. So having met Roger so many years ago, it was just recently that I remembered he said to me, Owen, we need to start a club for basketball, football, netball, and whatever else sporting activity we have in Challengers. I am imploring us as Challengerians, let us take that step and create this club so that all of us can benefit, whether it is through sports, whether it is through education, on whatever it is, and help us to build that moment or that aspect of what he was trying to say to us. I know, for instance, Slam, Kino, Riddle, and those persons who were part of the organization management back then. When we started this complex, we came together as one unit, where Challengers people come and started that very same building you see behind us. He was a part of the fabric of what we see here today. Riddle and the others who were instrumental in getting it done, the end product is here. It is for us to continue to build one another. And to you, Mrs. Gumbs, and your family, I know we are supposed to be related as well. And so the love and the caring and whatever else it is that we have to offer here in Challengers, whatever it is, we will extend our hearts, we will extend our hands. So if it is that we need to step up, Challengers people, it is in a moment like this. And I'm happy that we all can be here, even though it is a sad moment where we would have lost a soldier, a friend, a companion, a father, brother, uncle. It is for us to take this opportunity, reflect on ourselves, reflect on our families as to where we are, and think about what we have to lose when our loved one leave us. What it is that they actually fill those gaps. We don't know. Only his wife and his children can say to us exactly what gap is going to be missing. So now it is our responsibility as Challengers people to help to fill whatever gap that the family will be missing. So on behalf of, again, like I said, the Challengers Football Club, and by extension, the Exodus basketball team, I wish to say that we will be here for you. Thank you very much.
Well, I didn't even know Owen was a part of the Exodus family, so Owen, welcome. We now have Mr. Doylan, Mr. Royston Doylan, Mom.
Yeah, good night to everybody. Giving my condolences goes out to you, you know. We go back from a long time, And I used to play basketball with Roger from since school years, so he know me that well. And one thing about Roger, I never, ever see Roger argue with nobody at all. Even if he wakes in and argue with you, He never argued with nobody at all. And thanks God to that boy. Glory be to God for that, you know. But I tell you, that day when he passed away, I was right there standing up over him, right? And I just had to shake my head, you know. But the after just put our trust in God and He will see us through, you know. Because Monday morning, I saw him right in the face. I just look up and I just see his big face, just watching me. And God said, this man is alive and well. Glory be to God. Daily, he is in the hands of God. He will protect him. Glory be to God. I saw this man for real. And I just want to honor him with this song. Glory be to God, you know. Because if you give a little more than you take, and if you try to fix more than you break, if you're the kind who takes the time to help a stranger one day, there's a place for people like you. Roger, there's a place for you. I've read up there the streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when the days down here us through, there's a place, Roger, up there for people like you. If you walk around with your on your sleeve, and if you try to be the change you want to see, if you lay down your life and lost to someone could be saved, there's a place, Roger, up there for people like you. I heard up there the streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when the days down here are through, there's a place, Roger, up there for people like you. I've read up there the sheets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when the days down here are through, Roger, there's a place up there for people like you. I know you're out there, so just keep doing what you do, Roger. There's a place up there for people like you. There's a place, Roger, up there for people like you.
Thank you, man. Give me another round of applause for man. Alright, now we have Franco.
Good night, everyone. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out here tonight to honor a great man. Roger was really the backbone of the Exodus basketball team. You know, a man cannot stand without a backbone. He is the one who was the peacemaker. He was the conscience of the team. He was the reason. He was the manager and organizer of the team. He got the jerseys, made sure the schedules then went out, called people when they was late for games, prevented arguments during the games. When we had the junior team, he really helped me and Kino with the coaching and the different things and the organizing. He will really be missed. He will leave very large void in the organization. I want you to thank his family for lending him to us for that experience. And I'm at the last word, so anybody else?
Thank you. Is there anyone else with anything to say?
Yeah, good night to everybody. My name is Pierre, no Malvern here. Wherever they went on here. First, I want to express my condolences to Colin and her family, right there. I've known Roger for a very long time. We played for Berger Gunners junior team. I'm twice time plus that now, so you know how long that was, all right? But we can stay here and say a lot of good things about Roger, and all that is a fact. The facts of life you can't change, no matter what nobody say. The facts are the facts, all right? Some of you might know me from challenges from the basketball, but all I want to say is this: Roger would remember this. When Exodus was winning, this is what we used to say. Exodus, what is your profession? Exodus, what is your profession? Thank you, everybody. Good night. Peace be unto you and your family, Colin.
Thank you so much, Pierre. We wouldn't have been an Exodus function without that. It seems we've reached the end of our program. I'd like personally to thank everyone for coming out and sharing with us. I'm really at a loss for words myself, so Franco, I understand what you were going through. Just want to give our best, our very best, to the immediate family of the late Roger Gumbs. I know in our community, Roger will be greatly missed. Thank you again for coming out and supporting this venture. It's really good to see all the faces. Thanks once again for coming out. Thanks for supporting the basketball team, and most of all, thanks for supporting the family. The homegoing service for the late Roger Gumbs is on Tuesday at the Anglican Church at the top of Church Street. Is 1 o'clock is the viewing. Please do come out and support, and let us send off our dear brother Roger in style.
It's been a long